They do. Or do they? Welcome to MsMojo, and today, we're counting down our picks for the top 10 memorable Grey's Anatomy weddings. For this list, we'll be looking back at the many weddings the medical drama TV series has shown so far. These are ranked based on the storylines leading up to the weddings and how the ceremonies ultimately turned out. Since these tend to be tearjerkers, be sure to keep those tissues on hand. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below. Number 10. Owen Hunt and Amelia Shepherd. While this wedding is ultimately a success, it severely lacks where the romance is concerned. After witnessing Meredith and Owen talking about his ex-wife Cristina, a nervous Amelia runs away while still wearing her wedding dress.
What are you doing? We're running! Where are we running? Doesn't matter, let's go!
With Maggie and Meredith in tow, she looks for reasons not to go through with the ceremony, eventually being convinced by a relatively weak argument.
Maybe we get 2, maybe we get 11, maybe we get 30. Isn't that better, just to believe that?
Yeah.
I mean, Owen believes it. I swear he does, and he loves you. And maybe this time is different for you.
Not only does Owen see the bride before he's supposed to, okay, his eyes are closed, but also the nuptials don't feel complete considering many significant characters aren't even in attendance. By the time the proceedings get underway, the wedding comes across as more of a formality than a celebration of love.
You sure you don't want to run? Now's your last chance. We should have.
Number 9. Cristina Yang and Preston Burke. The ever-volatile relationship these two had guaranteed a fiasco on the wedding day. The miscommunication brings an eye-opening realization on Burke's part, who initially prepares a beautiful vow to say to her at the altar.
I am not optimistic. I am not hopeful. I am sure.
As the wedding is due to commence, with the guests having arrived and the venue looking spectacular, Cristina begins to freak out.
I scrubbed in and the vows were on my hand. I scrubbed off my vows. Oh, okay. Okay, hello, I scrubbed off my vows. I can't do this. I don't have anything in my hand.
Although it takes some time to convince her to go through with it, the delay causes Burke to confront Cristina himself.
And if I loved you, not the woman that I'm trying to make you be, not the woman that I hope you'll become, but you, if I did, I wouldn't be up there waiting for you.
Claiming he never loved the real Cristina, he leaves for good. While the events remain memorable, it's for all the wrong reasons. Between the wedding's cancellation and Cristina's heartbreak, this was clearly not a good day for love. Number 8. April Kepner and Matthew Taylor. This couple's romance was fleeting, and Matthew's proposal was out of the blue as well.
Will you marry me?
However, April and Jackson's lingering feelings remain in both of their minds. A number of distractions arrive for most of the characters as the ceremony commences, and upon realizing that he might lose April forever, Jackson interrupts the wedding and professes his love for her.
I love you, April. I always have. I love everything about you. Even the things I don't like, I love.
As everyone is left shocked, the following episode reveals that April did reciprocate Jackson's feelings. Although this turned out to be another failed wedding, it does carry romantic sentiment due to Jackson's grand declaration. Since it also brings the will they, won't they dynamic between April and Jackson to a fitting conclusion, poor Matthew being left at the altar makes for a necessary heartbreak. Number 7. Richard Webber and Catherine Fox. Things rarely ever go Richard Webber's way, and it appears as if his wedding to Catherine Fox is headed the same route. Just before the big day, the groom and bride-to-be enter into a long argument over how their married life will go about.
And I did not sign up for a dictatorship, Catherine.
No one asked you to, Richard Webber.
That's the problem. You never ask. You only tell.
Well, let me tell you how this is going.
I don't want to listen to another word about it.
It takes a stern lecture from Meredith to set them straight, as the couple then begins to reach various compromises.
When we're at home, we are not at work. We leave work at the hospital.
Rejected, totally unrealistic. Richard, our schedules, come on.
Hey, I understand, but we need some time for each
The
other.
bedroom.
The ceremony itself doesn't feel as grand as it should be since it takes place in the hospital's chapel, although the presence of all friends and family does make it a heartwarming occasion. The couple's eagerness to be married being apparent, and the celebration that follows, seals off a feel-good wedding to remember. Number 6. Cristina Yang and Owen Hunt. The hospital shooting creates a chaotic environment among the characters, with most of them struggling to cope. Because of this, Cristina and Owen's wedding takes place on a smaller scale, inside a house to be specific. While there aren't any cold feet on this occasion, the build-up is relatively tepid due to the memory of the shooting hanging over everyone's heads.
Oh, how are you doing? You okay?
Yeah. Okay. Derek?
I'm sorry, he's not coming.
He's my best man.
I know.
Despite Derek's failure to fulfill his role as best man, the ceremony carries on once Meredith assures Cristina that Owen is perfect for her.
How's Owen? Is he good?
Owen's perfect.
Although there's no big celebration, this wedding accomplishes being an intimate gathering with loved ones. With the characters finding joy once again after the shooting, the ceremony proves that love does eventually prevail. Number 5. Callie Torres and Arizona Robbins. This couple doesn't seem that strong due to the many number of times they've broken up, but their wedding did highlight their strengths. The lead-up is marred by a number of issues, including the disapproval of Callie's parents and Arizona's grief over her brother's death. It gets worse when the minister no-shows and Callie's mother decides not to attend, before Miranda Bailey comes to the rescue.
Besides, girl, I got legally married to a man in a church. Look how well that turned out.
After she convinces the couple to continue with the ceremony, a beautiful outdoor wedding is held under a bright sky. With Mark giving Callie away and Bailey taking up duties as the minister, the initial sour mood is forgotten as the couple is officially married.
Hey, who gives this bride to this bride?
That'd be me.
The return of Callie's father completes the turnaround to cap off the day.
I was driving to the airport with your mother, and it hit me. I've been looking forward to dancing with you on your wedding day since I first held you into my arms, so I turned the car around and came back. So, here I am, to have this dance.
Number 4. Miranda Bailey and Ben Warren. Even the strongest couples face wedding problems on this show, with Bailey and Ben facing a long delay before they could be husband and wife. Unsure if her second marriage might have similar issues as the first, Bailey begins second-guessing as Richard's wife Adele is rushed to the ER. While he initially believes Bailey might have run off, Ben learns the truth and stands by her in a touching exchange where they reaffirm their love.
Do you love me?
More than I can hold in my heart.
You sure about that?
I am completely sure of that.
The ceremony carries on with a sense of romance as Bailey and Ben happily share their first dance as a married couple.
So I'm glad you made it. Now, how's her BP?
All right, where's our bride and groom?
Go. You've been keeping him waiting long enough tonight. Go.
Although Richard loses Adele, he attends for Bailey's sake, and we're shown parallels from Bailey and Ben's successful wedding to Richard's marriage with Adele. Number 3. Alex Karev and Joe Wilson. Everything about this relationship was unconventional, making it fitting that their wedding was just as unusual. The bride and groom remain on the same page, but things around them are repeatedly threatened.
And it just seems in my throat, it's just closing. Catastrophe.
After the wedding planner has a major health scare, it looks like there won't be any wedding at all.
Call me crazy. I do not think there's going to be a wedding here today.
Nope.
However, Meredith becomes ordained on the ferry ride back, where she officiates Alex and Joe into marriage. It's not the wedding they planned, but the occasion couldn't be happier, considering the many ups and downs the couple went through to get there. One couldn't ask for a more beautiful venue either, with the oceanic background making this a breathtaking wedding. Add to that, April and Matthew's simultaneously impromptu second wedding erases the bitter memories of their first. Number 2. Izzie Stevens and Alex Karev.
She's right. The dress, it isn't for Meredith.
Leave it to Grey's Anatomy to spring a surprise wedding on its fans. While Meredith and Derek are unenthusiastic about their wedding plans, Izzie's chances at surviving her cancer seem slim.
I like Stevens. She's one of the good ones. I wish there was something I could do for her.
In order to lift her spirits and potentially give Izzie her final moment of joy, Meredith reveals that she's handed over her wedding ceremony to Izzie. As far as grand events go, nothing can beat this one. as Izzie arrives to an enormous reception with all eyes on her. The magnitude of this gesture highlights the strength of the characters' friendships, as well as Alex's undying love for Izzie. More than anything, it's the fact that everything goes right for once, making this a beautifully perfect ceremony.
Today, Izzie Stevens, our life together begins. And I, for one, can't wait.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Meredith Grey and Derek Shepherd. Unlike everybody else, Meredith and Derek realized that getting married was something to cherish between each other. With that in mind, the two went ahead with a wedding that, while strictly not legal, was inherently spiritual.
You have a piece of paper?
For what?
I want to be with you forever. And you want to be with me forever. In order to do that, we need to make vows.
As a number of crises emerge, and it seems their planned wedding ceremony might be off, Derek proposes a spontaneous wedding, with just the two of them present. Having nothing other than post-its, they write down their vows and accept each other as husband and wife. Despite lacking the benefit of wedding dresses or decorations, this moment manages to be so much more romantic. For Meredith and Derek, their promises to be together are reasons enough to consider this their wedding. And a couple years later, they make things official at Seattle Municipal Court.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Next applicants, please.
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.
They just want to be a rent-free and extinguish more deadly. I will never doubt another, which will bring me power, hunger. I will never ever want